Hello everybody! Today I want to talk about some reactions to my last video. The first I want to talk about is from Jeff C, aka New World Agenda, and his buddy. I won't be too hard with him, his mental condition is not the best as I know, and I don't want to make him bang on the table again. Let's hear what they have to say.
In fact, I was going to show this character called Surf Perzel.
Sir Perzel. He's such a just a nimwit. It's almost like it's almost like it's almost how you wanna there's a stray kitten and you wanna save it, but it doesn't want to be saved. That's the way I feel about Surf Perzel.
Don't let me die.
It's almost like I almost have a weird sympathy for her, or empathy, I should say, empathy for her. But she's just a dummy, a big fat dummy.
Well, let's just listen to her latest video here. As you can see, she's got a lot of videos about hoaxers, right? And I think the reason why they unleash the Dave Johnsons and Russian vids and characters like that is to totally discredit the honest researchers that are out there, and to make us all look like we're all part of the same gang of lunatics, essentially. But let's just listen in a little bit here on how it's done.
Well, that wasn't nice. We never talk to each other and you don't know me at all. But let's go on.
And this is a very small channel, but as you'll see here, if you look in the comments, you'll see some familiar faces. That is Caliber Hitter.
John LeBon.
Oh, there's
Von
Mr.
Doom,
Victor
huh?
Von Doom, huh?
John LeBon. Oh my gosh, eh? There they are.
Magulator.
Oh, so it's about that people you don't like commented under my video. I think we have found here the reason why they are attacking my little channel. That's pathetic. Grow up, kiddo.
So let's listen into this for a second here, boys, and let me know what you think.
Hello everybody. Today I want to talk about some claims from hoaxers in general. I want to state my opinion to evidences of that special kind. I use as examples claims from Sandy Hook hoax tarts, because most of you know them or heard of them. After the shooting, are many people still convinced that this was a hoax and no one died? Some of the evidences they present are ridiculous and based on nothing than nonsense. They are not based on any real facts. The first claim I want to talk about is the Sandy Hook victims seen at the Super Bowl. There are many videos about that on YouTube. First of all, are you kidding me? Let's think about it for a moment. Why would they, whoever planned that hoax, do that? It makes no fucking sense.
I gotta make a comment when you guys are done. Play her for another 30 seconds because
Okay.
I'm about to drop the bombshell on this one. Go ahead.
Very good.
The Sandy Hook kids were everywhere on TV and newspapers for a long time. And they are still everywhere on YouTube and Facebook. So who and why on earth would come to the idea to let these kids sing at the Super Bowl? So ridiculous. The fact that some kids look slightly like the victims does not mean that they are the Sandy Hook victims. Same with the Nancy Lancer is Annie Haddad claim.
Jeff, can you pause it?
And
Yeah.
they-
Go ahead.
Now here's the key here, everybody. Now, what she just said is she wants you to focus on the Super Bowl and focus on everybody that's actually trying to like make claimant to where one of these kids are one of the victims that died at Sandy Hook, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now let's look at this at a legal perspective. Look what Wolfgang Halbig did on the first hand, and then look what some other parents did on the second hand. These kids went to the Super Bowl, right? Now, Jeff, I don't know if you have kids or not, or I don't know if anybody who's listening has kids, but something has to happen in order for kids to leave a town on an official field trip in order to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
So something has to be viably obvious here regarding permission slips and regarding certain town functions that obviously to the normal individual, if your kid's going to leave your town, you have to have permission from the town, from your parents, and from a bunch of other sources in order to leave to go to the Super Bowl. Now what this jackass right here is trying to push you into is to all the little nitbits that they don't want you looking into. But let's look at this from a legal document perspective. I want the permission slips, and I want to know who the anonymous money came from to Newtown from the NFL.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
The thing about the Super Bowl too is that none of the kids' names were released. Now, when I was a kid and I was playing sports, I was in the local paper all the time, right? This person here, Jeff, scored a few goals or whatever, and if you appeared like with say celebrities or like in my city, it's the Montreal Canadiens, right? So I used to appear with members of the Montreal Canadiens in newspaper clippings and stuff like that. They would always have your name. It would be something you'd clip out and you'd put up on your wall and say, wow, when I was a kid, I got in the newspaper, I got this. With the Super Bowl kids, there is no information on who these kids are.
Oh God, really? I still can't see any proof that these children are the same. I only see speculations without any real proof. To say that you couldn't find out the names doesn't prove anything, and there are still a lot of flaws in that story. First of all, these kids are older than the victims. Maybe some of them are related to them. I don't know it and you don't know it too. Let's think about that. There is the theory that pictures of these Super Bowl kids at a younger age were used as the pictures of the victims. But don't you think that family members like grandparents, uncles and so on, neighbors, friends, all people who know these families for years would notice that these kids are the same and still alive? I bet they all watched the news and not even one of them recognized these kids? Again, that makes no sense.
Whatsoever is like they covered everything up. And the question that the shill here, Surf Perzel, asked, why on earth would they do that? Well, it's like the dog licking its balls because they can and because they have such disdain. If you watch enough corporate media, if you watch enough of the Grammys and the satanic shows and all this crap that they flaunt all the time in our face, the ability that they have to manipulate us. And it's also one of the Illuminati or New World Order sort of calling cards to come out and admit what they do, but in a sort of devious way. So why would they do that? Because they can, and because they want to mock the idiocy of the average person. And the average person watches the Super Bowl.
So they do it because they can and they want to mock us. Yeah, what a great argument. Makes about as much sense as before. This whole satanic thing is for me ridiculous. I can't see that in any way. If you want to believe such things, keep on. But I choose to live in reality and care about the real problems we have. I don't give a fuck about you before, and I will not do it in the future. Simply because I think there are some people way worse than you are. And with that, I'm done with these dummies. The next person I want to talk about is Sammy Kane. She shared my video privately with some, well, not so nice words as you can see. And I couldn't answer her, so I wrote a comment addressed to her as answer under my video. And I explained to another person why I made that comment and where I know Sammy from. That wasn't a big deal if not good old Lesta again would have jumped on the situation, making this dumb shitpost without even to know why I made that comment. I really don't want to talk about this freak anymore, but she was literally begging with her actions to be part of this video. And yes, Lesta is one of the persons who are, in my opinion, worse than Jeff. Was that really what I said in my video? By the way, I still have no clue what gender Lesta is. I just refer further on with her, because she reminds me sometimes of a teenage girl with a bad PMS day. Lesta is so many times crying that everyone is misrepresenting her, but it's pretty good to see that the sweetheart just twisted my words to misrepresent me. She wants to say that I would be obsessed about her, but makes again and again posts about me, even when I don't talk to her in any way. I think Lesta should explain what is going on, that she is constantly starting the shit again. She is such a hypocrite. But I'm pretty sure to know why she is so pissed. since almost all her claims and videos are based on claims like I mentioned in my last videos. I don't mean lookalike claims, I mean claims which are not based on any real facts. Let's take a look at some of Lesta's topics of the last year. Did Lesta figure out if the Earth is flat or not? Nope. Did Lesta prove that the Nepal earthquake was a hoax or not? Nope. What about the ISS? Did Lesta prove that no one is on board? Nope. She didn't prove or disprove anything. She's just talking, riding speculations. A good example is found in the thread under this post where we talked about the Boston bombing and Charlie Hebdo. It's only a part of this conversation. If you want to read all of it, you have to go to Lesta's Google Plus page and read it by yourself. But let's take a look at the part I'm talking about.
We just discussed Jeff Borman, remember? And you talked as though we should not be surprised that he survived getting his legs blown off. Well, the officer was shot in the legs and his legs were still attached. So don't you think it is likely he could have survived a shot to the legs? Yes, of course his injuries were survivable. If his injuries were not survivable, then how on God's flat earth can you think Jeff Borman's injuries were?
I tried to explain that this is completely flawed. People can survive that their legs got ripped off, and people can die if they got shot in the leg. If, for example, an artery was hit and they bleed to death. What seems more likely to you does not represent automatically what really happened. If an injury is survivable or not depends on that situation. For example, the condition of the victim and how quick someone was there to help him. To take one person who survived one event as indicator if someone else survives on another event and to make a conclusion about a hoax because of that makes no sense for me, because it's just speculations. I mean, a lot of people survived that legs or arms got ripped off, like soldiers in wars. Does that mean we have to assume that someone else have to survive an attack because he only got shot in the leg? Or does that mean if someone died because he got shot in the leg that another person who got their legs ripped off can't survive? No, you can think if it's more likely that he died or not. But this is not an evidence for a hoax and not based on any facts. I think that was a good example for Lesta's twisted kind of thinking. And what I was talking about in my last video to the evidences which some hoaxtards present to prove a hoax. It's without proofs and without real investigations, like for example to visit the crime scene or to talk to witnesses, ask experts for scientific facts or stuff like that. To watch some news reports and pull some shit out of your ass is not a real investigation. At last, a short explanation to the word hoaxtard. A hoaxtard is not simply a person who believes in hoaxes. A hoaxtard is a person who makes videos and scream hoax at every event without to present some real proofs. It's not that every truther is a hoaxtard. I am talking in my videos about some claims from some truthers, just to make that clear. And with that, I'm done for today. My video is long enough. Let the butthurt flow. Bye bye and stay tuned.